Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Kingdom Women Talk, where we encourage, validate, and empower others to do life. We're going to be going a little bit deeper in our breaking series, and we're going to be talking about breaking silence. Breaking silence. So the fact that the Lord would give us breaking silence means that it's taboo for you to be silent.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Everybody got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why are you looking like that?
Because my thought was, just because we got something to say, should we say it?
I mean, with all things in moderation, you know,
Okay.
like sugar and people, places, and things.
Yeah.
Everything with moderation, you know, temperance,
Okay.
seasoned with grace. So, yes. But I think it's more importantly to know that you have a voice. And God has given us a voice for a reason.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of people who, for whatever the situation may be, have been told, because we've all been brought up in that
Mm-hmm.
What goes on in this house stays in this house.
that part, and don't tell my business, don't say this, don't say that. You know, we can experience the most traumatic things, and back in the day our parents was like, and you gonna quiet it.
Yeah.
So which means that was teaching us how to bury our feelings and bury what we feel, and you know, just keep pressing it down, because who was going to tell? Our parents won't. I mean, we would love to have sat down and had a conversation about those things, but we couldn't. So we had to suck it up.
But how about this also? Even as women, I know I've heard before, you're supposed to be seen and not heard.
Blasphemy.
It is.
Seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my dad used to say that about children.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that puts you in the mindset that women has the same place as a child. Because that just made a connection for me, because I've never heard it as adult or women particularly, but my dad used to say that about children all the time, and that was his way of saying you don't get in grown folks' business, right? Even if you do hear it, you don't repeat it and you don't comment, you keep it moving.
Yeah.
So that would be likened to the fact of you gonna just do what I tell you to do in a polite way.
Yeah.
Oh, blasphemy. Who said that? Shame on you.
But I mean, if you think about it, you do hear, especially in the church, I mean, the church itself has come a long way, but think about it. Women weren't allowed to preach. Women weren't, you know, that's no place for a woman. You know, God's word to be preached is for a man. Well, where does it say that?
They take the scriptures of the Old Testament and they try to resurface them in a way that makes it seem as though God has not given us a voice on a platform.
Yeah.
When some of the most anointed that's preaching the gospel happen to be women.
Yes, Marion was our first choir director.
Yeah.
You know,
You can have that, but you can't have a platform.
Right.
you can do choir.
right.
You can do usher. You know,
Hospitality.
oh, absolutely. But that says there's gender roles,
Yeah.
even in the body of Christ.
Absolutely.
You know, when I don't recall my Bible saying that, other than specifically saying a man is this and a woman is that. But I don't recall my Bible telling me that there is certain things that a woman
Okay.
cannot do within the body of Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate that we're living in the days in which we are, and there's still thoughts of that.
Yeah.
And that's not to usurp authority, because we still need to give honor where honor is due, and we still need to make sure that we're doing things in decency and order. And that's not to usurp the man being the head of the household or any of that. But we're specifically saying that as women, God has created a place for us to be able to minister His word,
Absolutely.
to minister His word. So that's
Perfectly
unfortunate.
said.
So how do we, breaking the silence is hard when sometimes it's so deep rooted, even back to being a child. Like even back, this stuff is rooted deep. Like it's passed on. So if my dad was saying it, then I'm quite sure he got it from someplace, which was probably his mom and dad, which who probably got it from there. So this stuff is generationally that we have allowed to silence our voice. Because if you're taught that as a child, like for me, if I'm taught that as a child, then I didn't feel comfortable speaking what I have to say as an adolescent and then as a young adult. So when it came out, girl, it just came out like bam.
You got it how I said it.
Correct. Because there wasn't any cultivating of, you know what, you can say that, but it don't have to be like that. Or you know what, you need to think about how you want to present this.
Yeah.
Because there was no grooming in that. So it was trial and error. What are y'all thinking about breaking silence? Like, how do we do that?
I mean, it's difficult. I'm not even going to say that it's not. It's hard to be vocal as you need to be when you're not used to being that way, or having others to maybe speak for you because you don't speak for yourself. And I remember even when I was carrying Genesis, when I was pregnant with her, that was a prayer that I asked the Lord. Because for a long time, I did have a hard time speaking up for myself. And so that was a prayer that I asked the Lord, that she not have to contend with that she not have, that same spirit that I had, that she be able to vocalize what it is that she needs to say for herself. Because I'm not going to be around all the time. My mother wasn't around all the time to speak up for me, nor my father. But being able to speak up for yourself, gives people a different light of who you are. You know what I mean?
It does.
And it gives you give them a different respect for you too, as a person. So he has delivered on that. Let me say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Lord has delivered on that prayer.
God, was that a powerful prayer that the Lord
Yes.
heard,
Yes,
and
he
He
did.
delivered in
Yes.
yes.
I didn't, I mean, like you, Angie, I never thought I had a voice. My voice was to be the caretaker, the nurturer, the this, but as for others. So I didn't think I had a voice when it came to me. And I'm just so, now that I think about it, God bless me, because my daughter was nowhere like that at all. Well,
No,
y'all
she
know.
won't.
I think she took after one of y'all, both of y'all.
Maybe.
Because,
Potentially.
you know,
We may have
y'all started
encouraged
calling her the warden
Yeah, we did.
at 17. So,
Yeah.
she just has always been vocal. And I just think, but as she's growing older and growing in her relationship with Christ, that she is now learning how to temper it with grace.
Yeah.
But she's always been vocal. My son too, even though and that his was because of the environment from which he
Yes.
was in. So he had to be vocal.
Yeah.
Now it's trying to, even though he's an adult, praying that the Lord will help him temper that with grace and humility,
Right.
you know, because his was more for survival,
Yeah.
you know. So I think it is a generational, if we allow it to be a generational stronghold, it can be. But I think the more we grow in God and the more we realize that our children have voices, you know, and we need to allow them to speak what they have to say without shutting them down.
But also grooming that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that way they can grow up. Because you can still have a voice and be respectful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you still can say what you want to say without being disrespectful.
Exactly.
But we have to, like you said, we have to moderate that and make sure that we can provide them with the proper guidance. So Sheila, when you say I didn't have a voice, was it because, like with my situation, children are seen, not heard type thing, or?
Mine was out of fear.
Gotcha.
Fear, because I never knew who was going to show up, you know, with my mom. I never knew
gotcha.
who was going to show up. So mine was, don't be too loud. You want to set her off, you know, or making sure the kids were either up, fed, and if it was the summer, gone outside, you know, to maintain where, again, hiding in plain sight and being silent so as not to attract the wrath that would come, you know, or the put down. And even with her, with the people that I stayed with, where the abuse took place, you know, is if I was not seen, then I didn't have to hear, you're not worth nothing, you're going to be just like your mama, have a house full of kids, and, you know, all the negative stuff.
Right.
But if I kept myself quiet,
Right.
there was nothing they could respond to
Right.
or, you know, say. So has been hard, but it's a definite work in progress of, you know, speaking up for myself, you know, because even in the work field, you know, that fear to even speak up
Yeah.
for yourself when you
Yeah.
know you've been
Yeah.
done wrong.
And to be very honest, I just probably within the last 6 months to a year had that conversation with my boss. You know, because I'm like, you know, something had been done that was not correct, and you know, I did have to take proper channels in order to resolve the issue, but it was difficult to do it because
Yeah.
I had never been in that place in corporate America where I had to. God has always shown me favor.
Yeah.
And so to be in that place, it was very uncomfortable. And it was even uncomfortable having that conversation with her to let her know, hey, I'm not doing anything, you know, with malice
Right.
intent.
Right.
I'm not doing anything behind your back, but I'm letting you know I'm taking the proper channels to get this issue resolved.
Right. Right. That's hard anyway. Whatever the setting, it's going to be hard. But I think it's because I have found that if I take a moment and think about where that comes from, then I can always pinpoint it's coming from a place of something. And I think the key in breaking silence is to determine where it's coming from. So, like for me, it was, well, we didn't have a voice. Whatever my daddy said, that's what my daddy said, right? And there was no refuting that. So then then when you get a voice, you're irresponsible with it. You know, because
Yeah.
you don't know. You're just
Right.
like,
Right,
you're
right.
irresponsible with
Right.
it. So then you have to have a desire to say, well, you know what? I don't really want to keep doing that. But you don't, so you start seeking to do something different. So, and that's how you begin to break the silence that's
Yeah.
within us. Because there's a voice that wants to be heard and wants to come out. Nobody wants to not defend themselves, not speak up for themselves, not have an opinion or a thought about things,
Yeah.
because we all do. But I think sometimes it is wrapped in fear.
Yeah, a lot of times it
It's
is.
Yeah.
wrapped in fear. But it's not, but the person who we're talking to really technically, in most cases, haven't done anything with us. I mean, excuse me, to us. So which means that fear is coming from past experiences with other people. and that's where the breaking has to happen.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
gotta break. We have
Yeah.
to break that.
You know, something just came to mind even as I was sharing about the incident that happened on my job. Even in me breaking the silence in that, it freed me. You know, it
Yeah.
freed me in that area, definitely. But not only that, it also brought resolution for others. It wasn't just about me.
Yeah. But you were the one that God gave the voice to.
Right.
Wow. Wow. Because so sometimes you can be the one that breaks it open. Wow. That's really good. Wow. Yes, that's really good. That's good. But what if, and think about this.
Yeah.
What if you hadn't?
It would have remained the same.
It would have remained the same, because oftentimes we want change, but we don't want to be the one to step to the plate for the
Absolutely.
change. When sometimes God is calling us to be
Yeah.
that, hence breaking the silence.
Yeah.
Like, you're the trailblazer for the next, or for the ones that are already there. And you got to do that with a grain of salt, because you got some people who fighting everybody's battles. And
Right.
that ain't it.
Right. Right. I was definitely prayerful about it. I
Yeah.
didn't just go
Correct.
in at first.
You got
know.
some that
Yeah.
if this one happened to this one, then she's saying something about that, and if this one happened to this, she's saying that's not what you want. You have to move
Very true.
strategically with God in order for this thing to come out favorable.
Yeah.
But also, I think we need to talk about, like, practical ways that we can break the silence. Practical ways that we can break the silence.
I mean, practically, it is, you know, I know for me, I definitely try to make sure that, like you said a moment ago, you know, that my words are seasoned with grace. But also making sure that what I'm saying is spirit led. Like, because we can always go with our emotions, and our emotions are going to lead us wrong.
Every time.
They're going to lead us wrong. You know, it has to be led, even in timing that you say it. You know,
Yes.
it all has to strategically be done, just like you said.
Yes,
and I know that takes a lot, especially, you know, if you kind of pop off and used to doing that. It takes a different type of restraint.
It does. Even if you got to walk
to not
away,
go it that way, yeah.
take a walk restraint.
Yeah.
It does require thought, not emotion,
Right.
thought. Like, if you were offended, was I really offended? Or
Where am I
what
emotional?
they said, was it true? Because, I mean, if it was true, what can you do about the truth?
Right.
If it wasn't true, then you sit back and you go, okay, but no, it's not true, but I still need to take some thought, because how often have we said, don't respond to a text or an email when you're in your emotions, because all kind of stuff just pops out. Take some time, come back, think about the situation, get your emotions out under control,
Right.
and then go, okay, well, what didn't you like about it? What upset you? What upset me so much about what that person did or said? Because 9 times out of 10 is, well, I didn't like the way it made me feel. Well, what your feelings got to do with anything
Correct.
in this situation?
Because if it made you feel a way, then there's something there.
It's about you.
Right. It's something
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
If you feeling a way, it's something there. Because otherwise you'll be like, she got me.
Right.
Right.
I'm going to let her have that one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, she right.
Yeah. That's right.
And then you kind of, you know, even if you're angry about it, you look and be like, okay, I see what you're doing. But
Yeah.
you're like, she got me. So, yeah, you're right. It take a big girl move to be able to identify when the calling out, the conversation, the feedback is spot on. And you can say, even if you just got to give the heart emoji, you got me.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
You know, or sometimes, I think for me, breaking the silence deals with healing the wounds,
Yeah.
right? Because breaking the silence came from a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So in order for us to break the silence, we're silenced because something was broken. So in order for us to break the silence, then we got to go back to the broken to allow the healing to take place, that I can resume and recover and take back my voice. Because now if I go back to that broken place, so it could be the little child, it could be the marriage, it could be the broken relationships, it could be things were falling out, things that were said, negative things, it could be demeaning things, whatever has been said. You got to go back to that particular place, and that's where the forgiveness has to start. That's where the self-accountability, like they may have said some things, but did I get the party started? Because we're quick to be like, but you said this, but then where's my accountability in that?
Yeah,
I
that's right.
might have gotten the party started, but now I'm upset about what was said to me. So where's the accountability in that? I gotta own that piece of it too. So for me, it's going back to where the break is, that we can do the mending and repairing. And sometimes that's the place that we gotta lay it on the altar.
Yeah.
You know, that's the place that we got to say, God, I can't do this, but I want you to heal me in this area. I want you to mend me in this area. I want you to show me how to be able to get past what was said, right? I want you to wash me, purify me, cleanse me. So for me, go back. I'm thinking what you said along with, you got to go back where the break, because you just wasn't born. We weren't born silent.
No.
Somebody
That's
muffled our voice, and we got to know where that took place and why, so that we can heal. And if it's traumatic, then you got to heal the trauma, right? If you're regurgitating what somebody said, oh, your voice, you don't have nothing. Sometimes people don't like how their voice sound. Well, that's because somebody said something about your voice, and you believed it. You know, so you got to go back to where the break is, so that you can begin to heal that area. And it's going to make your voice get stronger.
Yeah.
And then you'll get more confident and flowing in what God is telling you to say. Y'all, we thank you for joining us for another episode of Kingdom Women Talk. Our topic was breaking the silence. We pray that God will minister to you on how to get your voice back. And if you do have your voice back, how to even make your voice stronger and let it be seasoned with grace by the Lord and temperance by the Lord, that everything that you release out of your mouth will be edifying and uplifting rather than tearing others down. Y'all be blessed, and we'll see you next time.